Well, guys, TB is fast approaching. I'm sure your guild has asked you to farm some rote platoons. Maybe you just decided to help your guild out. I don't know. Maybe it's mandatory. A lot of guilds are doing that. And today I'm going to kind of break down the good ones and ones that are kind of decent that you should actually go out of your way to do. So first I want to just introduce the point, guys, that the rote platoons, guys, are actually a really, really good thing to want to invest in. Now, before you guys scream at me and say, but Guillermo, you need relic 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, etc., let me just explain why. In a game like Galaxy of Heroes, there's going to be plenty of characters who maybe you want at relics, maybe you want to invest in, but you never actually get the opportunity. For me, this was Chirrut. I wanted to have this guy at relics, but there was never really a reason for me to go down that route. But I was assigned him at R7 for platoons, and now I have a reason to farm him. I've been in many Discord servers, I've looked at many threads on Reddit, for example, where people say, this character's great, but what's the reason for farming them? For example, Beskar Mando, a lot of people leave him at lower gear for the exec fleet, because there's no reason to take him above. But obviously now he's required for Bo-Katan, a new one, all of a sudden there's a demand for him at relic, and a benefit is there, right? So there are some examples of characters like this. So for example, the platoon characters that I've done that I have not regretted, I'm going to be doing Chirrut, I really do like that. I also did Zauber to R8 for platoons, and I also did Vet Chewie to R8 for platoons. And these are characters that, would you really want to R8 your Vet Chewie, or would you really want to R8 your Zauber? But the thing is, guys, the return on investment has been massive because they've taken a team that's already quite good and made them elite for me. So you can do this as well. So guys, I'm going to bring up on the screen the platoons, starting with the Relic 5. And I'll just go through a few here that maybe you would actually want to invest in the same way. For example, say you're someone who wants to go for Aphra, and you're in an earlier game guild. Why not go for one of the Aphra requirements as your platoon? Because you have to have them R5 to do it, and it gives you a reason to pursue Aphra, right? Because then you're 1 out of 4 or 2 out of 4, for example. Other characters that are really nice. What about Treya, guys? There's a lot of people that apply Treya Omicron and leave her at gear 12. If there's 1 or 2 Treyas left over, why not take it on yourself to relic her up? I know this is technically not required anywhere, but you're required to help your guild in a way. You are helping your guild, and in return you get a great character. If you're going for a Leia, maybe you want to do Rolo here. We've also got ones like Imperial Probe Droid, we've got Kiadi-Mundi, which fall into a different bracket, and that's more of a case where you just, whoever has some 7-star will most likely be the ones to take these on. We then have ones like Boba Fett, Son of Jango, same as before. For a lot of guilds, it just depends on if you have him. But good characters to take up if you wanted include characters like Ventress. We also have GBA is a good one for some people to go for. Obviously, the Aphra requirements. We've got Scion down here. Who's needed. We also have Treya who's needed. Like, you could literally use rote platoons as an excuse to relic your Treya team. Are you really gonna go wrong from that, guys? Then we go to the second tier, and you'll see it's just the same thing. Now, obviously, a lot of us already have characters at R5, and whilst, in a way, you're not gaining direct benefit from doing a relic 6 or 7 if you can't even fill the platoons, it's still good to do them. So for example, if you look at the relic 6 characters, maybe you have Wall at R5. Why not help your guild out and better yourself by taking them to relic 6? Then there's other characters. Obviously conquest ones are a bit harder to deal with, but there's a lot of cases where this could be really, really nice, guys. Like, honestly, you just use the platoons as an excuse to relic higher. Now, I personally, for where I'm at in the game, I'm looking at the R8 ones. That's what I did in the past, and I'm using it as an excuse to R8 a good character who will benefit me. So some examples of, if we were here, they're actually quite good to do. We have obviously any GL. If there's a GL that needs R8, why not take it upon yourself to put your name forward and take them to relic 8? You're not going to regret it. The return on investment is there. Examples of ones that are actually low-key really good though. Kyle Katarn, really good. Commander Ahsoka, really good. Possibly the new bow with the release of all of that. Baze, pretty good here. Obviously, there's ones like HK you're probably not going to do. But like the ones where they can kind of fit into teams you have, and obviously this is personal to you, you're not going to go wrong by doing this. Like say you're someone who has a really good Imperial Trooper team, maybe you're someone that wants to run the new Gideon, and you see yourself running Dark in that team, why not take it upon yourself to relegate Dark? The idea and the point I'm trying to get across here, guys, is that you can actually use the platoons as an excuse to further your roster. It's a bit like a video that I made a few months ago now, where I actually spoke about the fact that you can relic characters, within a week, roughly. But to keep yourself playing the game and not to burn out, it's very important to balance the fun characters to relic and level up, and the, not so luxury than the must-haves, right? And I said in that video, for every 4 relics, make sure one of them is one that benefits you. Well, you can actually kind of do a loophole here, guys. So for example, for me, I'm building up a SOAR team right now. If I wanted, I could say to myself, I'm going to R8 bays. Now, out of the gate, that's something I don't really want to do. I don't really want to divert the resources to that character when there's no real benefit. But if I took it upon myself and said, you know what, this is for platoons, right? All of a sudden, it changes from something that's just luxury to something that's actually got a wider benefit. So I can tell you now, guys, that I am going to be taking my cam to R8. It is for platoons. Now, obviously, you're going to see here, this is the guild I'm in right now. We're not even worrying about the R8 platoons, but obviously, it's still good to have them for the time it comes, right? But for me, cam is a great excuse. Guys, use platoons as an excuse to relic characters that you otherwise wouldn't. Or use them as an excuse to start a farm you wouldn't have done anyways. So for example, you may decide to R5 your BAM because you want to go for the new Bo-Katan. So you're helping the guild, and 2, you're furthering your roster. So guys, when you're looking at platoons, when you're looking at assignments, when you go into your guild Discord or whatever, and you see people saying, it's that time, guys, we need to start assigning platoons. And what a lot of guilds are going to do is they're going to want to open it up to you to make a decision if you want to do it. And if no one does it, they're just going to start assigning them. And they have to be done. Because if you do the Reaver mission without platoons, it's a little bit harder than it should be. And it's the same for all the missions. Platoons are so important for progression in Rote, right? So why not take that advantage, jump in early, and pick 1 or 2 characters that isn't going to throw you off the rails, that you're kind of farming towards anyway, or that maybe you just want to gear up, regardless. So obviously ones that come to mind, like we said, Treya, Scion are good ones. Boba Fett, Silent Django's a good one if you do want to go for that territory war focus. Obviously we have ones like, maybe you want to push your Empire fleet. Why not do 1 refresh of the TIE Interceptor? It's going to benefit you in the long run, and it's also needed for platoons. So guys, just go out there, use your platoons, and see if you can actually, make your roster better through focusing in on these. Guys, if you're interested in TB content, I do recommend you go listen to the podcast that we recorded this week as a recording. It was really good. It was done as a live stream, and we covered a lot about TB and how it's really going to be the future of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Glurmit, and as always, guys, have a glurming day.